podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Hello.
And welcome to Film
Bastards.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 421 of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring. Stood by me, wondering what the fuck is going on, is Kiki the dog. And, as always, I am joined by...
Becky Foster, hello everyone.
I'm Matt Foster, hello everybody.
Hello, we hope you are all doing well.
Just real quick, before we get going...
Yeah.
Fucking hell, wow, yes?
Sorry, I would just like to apologise in advance for my voice if it goes funny at any point throughout this. I've had a really bad cold, and my voice is mostly back, but it does sometimes do like a bit of a weird thing. So, that if it does that, that's why.
Thank you for that, Becky.
Okay.
Coming up on this week's show is another MCU film. We've all fulfilled our contractual obligation that we have with life of going to see the next MCU film. So we'll be talking Chloe Zhao's Eternals. We will also be talking the Tom Hanks Apple TV movie Finch and stupid sexy Oscar Isaac in the card counter. So, little bit of business. I haven't seen the result of this yet, but what is the next marathon?
Ooh.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Wowee. So, the options were, finish that damn Fincher Club. How the hell have you not started the Michael Mann marathon yet? Fuck's sake. And fuck both of those, Guy Ritchie, baby.
The thing is, me and Bex were talking about this when we put the poll out on Sunday, and it made me genuinely laugh out loud while we were having breakfast in a place, didn't it, Bex?
It did.
And we were saying, the thing is, these are three really fucking, there's a lot of good films in this. So, whichever it is, it's pretty fucking cool.
So, in last place, finish that damn Finch. So what I'm thinking, right? Let's just time that to coincide with Finch's next film, that assassin one he's doing with Michael F. Fassbender.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll pause on Fincher Club for probably another year or so yet.
I think Christmas next year, yeah.
Yep. So we'll pause. Never mind. At least we can have some kind of couple years away from Mank perspective as well. So,
yeah,
something at least. In second place, and the marathon we will be doing after the winner. Fuck both of those, Guy Ritchie, baby. So, the marathon that patrons, I think, voted on about 18 months ago.
Yep.
Is coming. We are doing Michael Mann.
You excited, Matt?
I am. I just air punched him there in the room.
You did.
Which ones are we doing?
Just very excited. Very excited. What do you mean, which ones?
Are we doing all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking yes! I'm more excited.
All the theatrically released ones. I don't think we need to do LA Takedown.
No.
But yeah, all the theatrical release Michael Mann.
So we've got Thief, The Keep, Manhunter, Last of the Mohicans, Heat, The Insider, Ali, Collateral, Miami fucking Vice, Public Enemies, and Black Hat, the director's cut.
Yeah, baby.
There's some good watching there.
And I've never seen Last of the Mohicans.
That's interesting.
I've been waiting.
That's the Madeline Stowathon, isn't it?
Yes.
You're in for a bit of a treat there.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Madeline Stowe is
she's a very beautiful lady.
A very tasty treat, isn't she?
I mean,
hell yeah.
Tasty treat. I think mine was more respectful.
So, Thief next week then, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
I got Thief in preparation for the first time on it. It's been sat there waiting to be watched, and I've been so looking forward to watching it for like 18 months.
Hell yeah. God, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yes. So, Michael Mann, the men doing their jobs really fucking well marathon.
Yeah. Yes, there's some good films coming up. I always do enjoy a rewatch of The Keep as well.
Hell yeah, I enjoy The Keep. So we got that coming. Little show note. So Arutsuka Doji.
We're sorry, Ian.
I'm going to be honest with everyone. I made it 20 minutes.
Well, we decided we are going to watch it, but we decided to watch Finch instead of watching Arutsuka Doji in our Arutsuka Doji thing. But we are going to watch it this week, aren't we? And cover it next week for patrons. Well, not for patrons, for everyone. But yeah, the thing is, we wouldn't
have had enough nights to watch Finch, would we?
We had this conversation, didn't we, in the hot tub, funnily enough, where I was like, I kind of suggested it as a joke because I didn't think people would vote for it.
Well, no one ever votes for your choices.
No,
usually.
because they're silly.
Yeah. I'm actually really psyched to watch it, to be fair.
Well, I'm looking forward to rewatching it, but yeah.
Like, I made it about 5 minutes past the tentacle rape. And then just went, I kind of just want to enjoy things.
Which is fair enough. The other thing is, the funny thing is, Bex said to me, "Did you send Ian the theatrical cut or the director's cut?" It's like, I sent him the theatrical cut. I didn't send him the director. I think he would literally message me and go, "Fuck you, I quit."
Yeah. The thought had crossed my mind with the theatrical cut, quite frankly. But no, I in all honesty, folks, I gave it a go. And I'm sorry, patrons, and
I will also apologise to Ian and say I will be more thoughtful about my choices from now on.
It reminds me of the time that, for playing it forward, I bought Noel the Greasy Strangler.
Yeah, and me and Noel were just very angry on a podcast with you.
Like, literally 100... And I broke the rule of buying something you think the other person will enjoy, and went with, I just want to see what his reaction is. And it ever so slightly felt like that, but it's not to say that we were supposed to be picking things that we know the other people were going to enjoy. That wasn't the point of this, but it did remind me of that.
Yeah.
So if you guys are talking to Arutsuka Doji next week, we probably need to put out a poll for the one the week after.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's maybe have a think and come back to it. Like I've got one, but I've just like thrown it out there. So
yeah, well, should we come back to the end of the show? Yeah, Becky's
cool.
nodding because I'm guessing she doesn't have one. I don't have one either, so I think.
Okay, great stuff. Okay, so Pod Syndicate. We are podsyndicate.com for like-minded shows such as The Iron Sequel, Entertainment Landfill, Chinchoroka vs. Punter, The Rewatch Project, His Film, Her Movie. I believe that's it, I think. I hope. I pray. Indeed. I don't know why I said indeed to myself. On to news, and not entirely sure there's been all that much. I don't know. It's just like award season seems to be kind of trundling on. I saw that Paul Thomas Anderson started publicising Licorice Pizza.
Yeah,
thank you. And saying that he very badly wants to work with Joaquin Phoenix again, and that he wants to try and get Daniel Day-Lewis out of retirement. Great. in for both.
Which Daniel Day-Lewis has said that he's retired, but there are two filmmakers he would consider coming out of retirement for, and they are Martin Scorsese and Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, go big or go home, quite frankly, and fair fucking play to the guy.
Yeah, a man who very much just picks, what is it?
Yep, he does indeed pick, what is it? Chloe Zhao is being rumoured as the director of the Kevin Feige produced Star Wars film. That's interesting. I wonder whether that will quietly go away when the second weekend box office for Eternals comes out, but we'll see. Not entirely sure. I don't know. We'll get to Eternals. I mean, Star Wars is in an interesting place. So Rogue Squadron also got basically delayed indefinitely.
Yeah, the most obvious. Oh, we should have announced. We should have discussed this after WW84.
It was fascinating because they announced it. It was like a surprise to everyone at this Disney Investor Day that happened. I want to say a week before Wonder Woman 84 came out. And Patty Jenkins was really, really riding high, and then that film came out. And then it's just been really quiet. And they're saying it's scheduling conflicts. And
that made me laugh so much with the scheduling conflicts. It's like, hang on a minute. You have scheduling conflicts with... Now, I don't know what else fucking Patty Jenkins does, but you have scheduling conflicts with a woman who has made 3 movies in getting on for 20 years.
Yeah. It's... the fact that, Wonder Woman 3 is probably going to happen at some point, but, there hasn't, other than Warner Brothers greenlighting it, there hasn't been any fucking word on that whatsoever. And, I don't know, a year is a long time to sort out your schedule if you're not actually kind of, doing any active filmmaking. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a shame, but it feels like Disney is still very, very scared of doing one-off, big trilogy Star Wars movies after Solo. And Solo, I mean, it was a disappointment, but it wasn't like it lost money.
Yeah.
Made plenty of money, just not as much money as they wanted. And you've got so much Star Wars content on Disney Plus at the moment that it does feel like for the immediate future, Star Wars home is TV, and to an extent I think that makes sense, but it's a shame. But this is the thing, I've been catching up on The Mandalorian over the last week or so, and I know people said it last year when the series first came out and whatnot, but that fucker is basically just watching a film on TV every week. Yeah. Or part of a film on TV every week. It's very impressive.
Yeah, you enjoyed it, didn't you, Bex?
What's that?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I started it. I really enjoyed it. I just lost
flow with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I watched episode 1 of season 2 last month, and before that I watched season 1 maybe last year. So it's taking me plenty of time to get round to Mandalorian, but I'm enjoying it when it's there.
What I will say about Mandalorian, it's something I won't watch. I'll hold my hands up to say I won't watch it. Not out of any fucking I don't have a stance against it or anything like that. I don't want to. It's the honest answer. But one of the weird things is I really enjoy how much in the little we reference it quite a lot in our little boy chat. I enjoy how much Mike and Noel and John and Ian like it, and I enjoy sort of reading their interactions, but going, right, this is great how much, my friends are enjoying this, but not at any point, have I gone, I should watch this. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It probably is. I would probably enjoy it, but for some reason, the thought never occurs my mind.
there's too much content. That's the thing, and it's like one of the things I really love about films is like, okay, they might be part of a franchise, there might be sequels and whatnot, but you spend your couple of hours and you've been told a story from start to finish.
Well, this is the argument I have with Bex sometimes. Is even if you take away if a film's shit, you probably wasted 2 hours of your life. If a TV series ends shit, you might have wasted 100 hours of your life. I'm granted you're not going to waste those because you enjoy bits of it throughout. But it's just, there's a small part of me that goes, and I have enjoyed TV. It'd be wrong to say I haven't enjoyed TV. We very enjoyed watching Ted Lasso. But I still am a little bit of the mindset of, you've got with a film 3 hours to tell me a story, and it can have such a great effect on me that I just don't see why sometimes people need 12 hours to tell me a story. And that's just it's a difference of opinion on. It's like when people say, "I don't understand how people can get that involved in a game."
Yeah,
I do understand how people can get that involved in a game. I just can't myself. And it's the same with TV. It's not my medium. But then there'll be people who go, so hang on a minute, you can just sit down and put on a vinyl record and just sit down, do nothing and just listen to it. Yeah, easy.
I mean, it's different shows for different folks, isn't it? It's like, some will watch films, some will watch TV, some will watch YouTube videos about northern men eating takeaways.
Yeah. That's it.
Hi, Noel. Sorry.
It's a pick your poisons and pick your entertainment where you can get it from. And it's as long as people are enjoying something, I'm all for fucking enjoying things.
And before we move on to trailers, one last one. Idiotic COVID stance claims a film victim, Ice Cube, will not be in the new Jack Black comedy Oh Hell No, because he won't be vaccinated. That is a shame. I would watch Ice Cube and Jack Black in a comedy, absolutely no problem. But at the same time, you don't want to get fucking vaccinated and like potentially spread it to people around you who are getting vaccinated. Fine, don't have a fucking job then.
I really hope the minute that Ice Cube pulled out of that, I really hope Jack Black just got his phone out and went and just dialed and went, "Hello, hi, yeah, you double jab? Yeah, I might have a job for you."
Yeah.
Because I'd watch the shit out of an LL Cool J and Jack Black comedy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's
by the way, I am not saying that black ex-black rappers are interchangeable. I'm just saying that is the logical jump, isn't it?
Yeah. I like a bit of LL Cool J.
Yeah, there we go. Good.
It's going to be interesting. From Monday in Wales, you've got to either show the NHS COVID pass showing you've been double vaxxed, or show the result of a lateral flow test from literally that day if you want to go to the fucking cinema in Wales. It's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out, I tell you what. Real interesting. That reminds me, I need to take a fucking... sorry, I'm going into the office tomorrow. I need to take a lateral flow like tonight/tomorrow morning. Sorry, I just reminded myself. Anyway.
Life admin on air.
Yeah, no, sorry. That just reminded me. So, trailers. I'm going to start off with the Bruce Willis VOD of the week.
Fortress!
Fucking hell. He's done another one.
We said that earlier, didn't we? We're like, it's every week there's a new one.
And again, I mean, like, see this time. Jesse Metcalfe plays a guy who goes to see his dad on an island, thinks his dad is a normal person, but it turns out that the island is some sort of compound and his dad is some trained killer, and then it looks like his dad gets kidnapped by Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah, you're looking at it going, This is the one that has Shannon Doherty in it, who doesn't even get credited.
Oh, wow.
Like,
That's who that was!
Yeah.
I knew I recognised her.
It's like when Jesse Metcalfe, Chad Michael Murray, Bruce Willis are all getting credited, and then it's just like Shannon Doherty is in the trailer so much and then just doesn't get credited at all. You know that she's either said, "Don't you fucking put my name on this," or she's pissed people off to the point of where they've gone, "We're not putting your name on this."
Oh, man. So, in this trailer, there is a line. Chad Michael Murray says, "Any last words to Bruce Willis?" And Bruce Willis says, "All transactions are final." Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
I just, yeah. Do you know what? I'm actually going to watch this one, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of intrigued, and I know it's going to be really, really bad. But I also do still maintain that I think Chad Michael Murray was quite close to actually being a bigger star. It's just he liked to party a little bit too much, but didn't like a lot of them go, like, I will party, but I will still turn up to set knowing my lines, I will still turn up on time, and all of these things. He just fucked it off too much. He went Ryan Philippe. You never go full Philippe.
No, never go full Philippe. I don't think I've got that much, if I'm honest. It felt like a quiet one, but there was the new trailer for Meet the Ricardos.
Yeah.
Which actually gave you an idea of what the film is about. And it's like, right, okay, I can actually kind of get a sense of why Aaron Sorkin's making this. Let's see how it goes. It feels... Yeah, that fucker feels like a tightrope.
Yeah, it does. It feels like if it comes out and it's under 110 minutes, you know it's shit.
Yeah. It's just the fact it feels like there's no heat around that at all. But then again, I mean, like, it's not out for a month, and it just, between that and Don't Look Up, like, you got Amazon have got Meet the Ricardos, Netflix have got Don't Look Up. It kind of feels like put in a fucking, like, it feels like Gorilla versus Kong. You know what I mean? Like, it's Don't Look Up, starry cast, starry director. You know, it just people all over the place in that thing. This, Nicole Kidman doing makeup again.
Yeah.
But I like me Aaron Sorkin.
Yep.
You know, like the Chicago 7 was perfectly good. Molly's Game was fun. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I enjoyed Chicago 7 and I really liked Molly's Game.
I liked Trial of the Chicago 7 and didn't like Molly's Game.
Is that because that's Jessica Chastain in it and you
don't
like
Jessica Chastain? I find her charisma not good. She fails the vibe check. This seems weird, though, because it would appear that sometimes Nicole Kidman's doing a really good Lucille Ball voice, and then sometimes she's just doing Nicole Kidman voice. Like, you either have to, like, lean in or not. You can't sometimes do it.
Yeah, I think that could be really bit.
Yeah. She's not a great actress, to be fair, so it's a bit of an odd one.
It's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's,
she's got red hair, though, so
Amazon.
there we go.
Yeah, Amazon Prime, 21st of December.
Yeah.
So we'll see on a Monday, which is weird. I get it's around Christmas, but that's odd. I think fucking Don't Look Up, I think it's Christmas Eve.
I think it is, yeah.
Which is bizarre. Like, I want to watch Don't Look Up. To be fair, it's getting a theatrical release a couple of weeks beforehand, so I'll probably take myself out to the cinema anyway. But if not, I'd like to see that the day it's on Netflix, but it's also Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we will be watching that on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, odd one. It feels like a good between Christmas and New Year one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so.
So, yeah, we shall see. It kind of feels like the... we got some big boys coming, like Licorice Pizza got dated for the UK for New Year's Day.
Oh, I'm looking forward to New Year's Day going to see Licorice Pizza.
Hell yeah. I was really worried that was going to be like, oh, it'll be out in mid-February.
Yeah.
So, I think it's still a few weeks after the US, but at least we're getting it in some kind of good time.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. That's very much my jam.
Yeah, nice. What else have you guys got?
Silent Night. An ensemble piece starring Matthew Good, Keira Knightley, Lucy Punch, that kid from Jojo Rabbit. That is right, isn't it? Yeah. Jojo Rabbit, yeah. For some reason, as I was saying, I thought, that doesn't sound right. I just made that up. And other people. It seems to be set at Christmas, on Christmas Day, but then there's some kind of event happening, an end of the world event that they already know about.
Last Christmas before the end of the world, the following morning or something, yeah.
Like Boxing Day, the world's going to end.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds fun.
But yeah, it's a black comedy kind of looking thing. It looks like it's either going to be quite entertaining or insufferably insufferable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else was there? Ghostbusters Afterlife, the final trailer. Where they're not even trying to hide or anything like or hint at Dan Aykroyd now. It is just Dan Aykroyd's in this, by the way.
Well, I think that was meant to be the big reveal, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it just kind of feels a little bit. When he's in like the first trailer and he's at the end answering the phone, and then this one he's just basically talking over the entire fucking trailer.
Yeah. I'm excited for this, so you can both fuck off with your misery.
That's fine.
Look, I mean, it's, to be clear, it is Jason Reitman specifically. Like, the word on it, it just seems very either you're going to be super in the tank or it's a cynical piece of shit. And I'm really looking forward to having one of those opinions.
Yeah. I'm very similar on that. The new trailer gives nothing away. I don't even think there's any. I think there's hardly even any new footage in it.
I think it's just because it's been on the go for so long. They've been like marketing it for so long. They just have to get it back in people's brains, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that was it. That there's been much else.
It feels like that's going to do well. It feels like that people are kind of are up for this Ghostbusters. I will 100% give it a fair shake. Like, I think the Reitman publicity trail has been fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And just like, oh god, sorry, shit. I'll be quick. This week, that quote of his saying that he'd been running away from it for years and then just realised it was basically his destiny to make it. What, because you were destined to have like 2 or 3 films do really, really badly and you needed a hit. So your destiny was to make it to save your filmmaking career, was it, Jason? Well done. Well done. It's so fucking two-faced. And yet people are fucking buying into it because they like Ghostbusters. And it fucks me off. But hey, if the film is good, I will be saying it. Don't get me wrong. I'll basically be saying it through gritted teeth. But I am not going in. I want to hate this.
No, you're going to give it a fair point.
I would love for Ghostbusters Afterlife to be great, and that revitalize Ghostbusters, and then we move on whatever fucking path we're going to move on with Ghostbusters. That'll be ace. You know, I'd probably rather Jason Reitman doesn't do another one, and quite frankly, I don't think he will. I think he'll be dropping it like a hot potato once he's hot shit again. But hey, who's to say? I mean, you know what? If in 5 years' time it turns out that Jason Reitman is basically the new godfather of the Ghostbusters universe, and he's directed a few of them, and he's produced to some or something like that, fair fucking play, I'll eat my words. But, nah. He's using it as a stepping stone. And it just annoys me that it's probably going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I think I'm going to enjoy it. I'm just going to say it. And I'm fucking annoyed by that.
Fair enough.
Anyway. Any more trailers?
No, that's it, man.
Yeah, quiet one. Hopefully I have some more next week. It feels like there's not really much big coming out this week, so like, there's no big trailers as a result, whereas next week we got Ghostbusters, the week after we got House of Gucci and Encanto. You know, it's like the hits keep on coming after this week, basically, so I'm sure we'll be getting some biggies soon.
Evening, ladies.
Watch out!
Okay, so let's start. Fuck it. I almost, in a way, just kind of want to get this out the way. So let's talk Eternals. So it's directed by Chloe Zhao and stars Gemma Chan, Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Barry Keegan, Brian, the boy Brian, Tyree Henry, and others. So, well, it's 10 Eternals, so plenty of them. Angelina Jolie's in it, for fuck's sake. Forgot about her. Christ. Film kind of does as well, but anyway. So, the Eternals is about a group of beings from the planet Olympia called Eternals who come to Earth and rid the Earth of these nasty creatures called Deviants, and they are told by their kind of god, whose name I forget, starts with an A, Arpashad,
Arishem.
Arishem, that's the prick.
Arshed, yep, that's him.
Arshed.
So, Arshed. And Arshed says, basically, you're not allowed to do anything to affect the human course of history. But one of them makes a plough at one point, which seems to get away from that. And they show them all sorts of fancy stuff. Anyway, present day, Deviants are back.
Loads happens on that day.
Present day.
Loads happens on present day.
Is that why you get a present, just to make up for all the events?
For all the shitty things that seem to happen on present day, yeah.
Fair.
Oh, dearie me. Present day. Well done. That's good. Good bit. On present day, the Deviants come back, and all the Eternals kind of split up, and they all have to get back together to work out why the Deviants are back.
Just a tangent for 1 second there, Ian. You say good bit. He does that every time it says present day in a film.
Oh, I've never heard it, so I thought it was a good bit.
Yeah, no. What I mean is, imagine living with that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I get it.
I even do it in the cinema, don't I?
Yeah, you do, yeah.
He's fucking giggling to himself.
Leans over and he whispers, "Fucking hell, present day again. Loads happens on that day." It's a good job you're pretty.
Right. Okay, so Eternals. Mark.
Yes.
Your thoughts on Nomadland on this podcast are quite well. Were quite well discussed.
Yeah, hideous piece of shit.
There you go.
Yeah, a bunch of incredibly wealthy people essentially pretending to slum it and thumbing their nose at people who have actual problems.
Yeah.
Yep. It's fair.
Yeah.
So, and you know, through the podcast, we've been talking about Eternals, and basically, we've all been a bit. All right then.
If we have to.
Yeah. Let's tick that box. It's like you can have Spider-Man: No Way Home as a treat if you watch Eternals.
Yeah. If you eat your entire plate of broccoli, you can have the Spider-Man pudding.
Yeah, exactly. And we've now all eaten the broccoli. So, do Did your expectations going in match what you thought of the film overall? Do you think there is a chance that maybe because expectations were quite low coming in, that maybe going out you were, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be?
I went in going, I want to at least be entertained for 2 out of the 2.5 hours. Or I want to be at least be involved with 2 out of the 2.5 hours. So I was basically saying to myself, I will take right now a 6.5, 7 out of 10 that doesn't bag too much. I will take a bit of bagging, but I don't want it to be too baggy for that. I don't mind coming out and going, yeah, it was a long film, but I don't want to come out and go, fuck, I just wanted that to end. I think was where I was with it. And at the end of it, I was very much like, I do feel like I've watched a 2.5 hour movie, but apart from the fact that it takes too long to end, I was actually really quite pleasantly surprised by Eternals, to be honest. Overall, it's a lot better. I don't think it's perfect. I think they've done too much with it. Trying to introduce that many characters is difficult, and it does make you go, you can't give the same love and affection to all of them. But I think there's enough there with some of them to make me go, I will happily watch a film about those. I would happily watch a film about those. I don't think we're going to get these films, but I would happily watch a film about those. I'd happily watch a film about those. I do think it suffers from one of the ones that it focuses on, essentially giving off far too much. Oh, you're very TV.
Which one?
Richard Madden.
Oh, he's
a TV actor.
And he's like the main...
And that's not to denigrate TV actors, but it's just, I don't think he's got the same... to give an idea, to give an example against the things. Barry Keoghan there is not in this a lot.
Is it? Yeah.
But his screen presence and just there's an energy to the guy in terms of when he's on screen that you go, do you know what? I'll fucking watch that fucker in anything.
That's the difference, isn't it?
I will watch that fucker in absolutely anything. And it's a similar thing to I think with Tyree Henry. There's a different sort of. I'm going to say something really fucking wanky now, but I'm going to say it because it ended up.
Looking forward to it.
There's a different visual poetry to the way that people.
I think I was just sick a little bit in my mouth.
So the way that people carry themselves that lends itself better to TV and better to film, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. 20 years ago or 30 years ago, saying somebody is a TV actor was seen as a bad thing. But it's not anymore in the post-24 world. Because...
God, yeah, it was 24 really that kicked it all off.
Yeah, it was.
TV.
Richard Madden, I'm sure, was the Bodyguard thing that kind of drew him to everyone's attention, wasn't it? And people loved this BBC TV show.
Yeah, people...
and I'm sure he was charismatic as fuck and very good in that. But I just don't think his energy, for me anyway, transfers across to film.
He's got the charisma of a wet paper towel in there.
Whereas I apparently Gemma Chan, I'm not seeing it in much.
Gemma Chan's a fucking delight.
But I thought she was brilliant in this. Yeah. But then I think you could also put Kumail Nanjiani, I think at points feels like he's the sidekick in a TV show.
See, I wanted him to be good in this. He was pretty awful in this.
He's too quippy. But
the two standouts for me were Lauren, is it Ridloff, and Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, their little relationship was way more interesting than anybody else's. But to answer the question that you were posing, to get back round to roundabout way of that, no, I was really quite pleasantly surprised at the fact that it was odd seeing a sex scene in a Marvel movie. It was odder seeing a sex scene between two people who literally have the charisma of two cardboard boxes being thrown together.
Do you mean chemistry?
Chemistry, sorry, of two cardboard boxes being thrown together.
Yeah. Well, that's because
for what is actually two quite attractive people.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of, and this isn't the first time Marvel done this. There was a lot of vulnerability, or you saw them essentially develop human emotions, because essentially they're these weird little AI creatures. And then you saw them develop various sort of human emotions and different human emotions with the way that they integrated with humanity. You know, the fact that you've got the two of the characters, the Eternals, that managed to develop relationships were the one who fell in love with humanity from the instant, and Brian Tyree Henry's character, who essentially gave up being an Eternal.
Yeah. Gave up on humans.
And then, you know, there was that there. Which I thought was really quite interesting. I'll stop talking now for a little bit.
So, Bex, right, so how much do you think Chloe Zhao actually brought to this film, and how much do you think it was like the Marvel template? Like, a lot of the criticism of this film basically seems to be that it doesn't seem to know what it wants to be. Does it want to be a Chloe Zhao film, or does it want to be an MCU film? How do you think that kind of like the rock and a hard place there, like measured up overall?
I think it's a difficult one. I think it's tried to be. There's certain parties involved that have tried to make it a Marvel film, and then obviously Chloe Zhao's tried to make it a Chloe Zhao film, and I think it just kind of clunks in the middle and manages to be neither. It's got some really nice like imagery. The bit where it's explaining the Celestials and stuff, and it's showing all the spacey shit is really nice looking. But yeah, I mean, with the exception of Nomadland, I don't think I've seen any other Chloe Zhao films, so I'm not really an educated commenter.
Should have made one of them, I think,
on that. But if they were going to take a chance on letting a director have a bit more free reign, a movie that is completely disconnected from the rest of the Marvel universe currently was the place to do it, I guess.
And what did you think of the film itself?
It wasn't for me. I don't want to be all negative on it, because I know Mark enjoyed it and I know you enjoyed it. But yeah, it wasn't for me.
You took particular exception to one specific scene, didn't you?
Oh, is it Icarus flying into the fucking sun like a fucking whiny little bitch?
I mean, that was incredible. Like, just the... Like, are you actually doing this?
That was just... The bit where I was like... I was still stumbling along in my brain, trying to find some kind of redeeming quality to this film, up to the point where they did the whole... What song is it? Don't They Know It's the End of the World?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, fuck off.
That was a little bit... It was a little bit like whoever was in charge of that Googled songs about the end of the world, listened to REM It's the End of the World as We Know It, and went, well, that ain't gonna work, and then just clicked on the next one down.
I'd have preferred the REM one. It was Do you know what? I am going to be negative on it. It wasn't fun enough to be fun. It felt like a Saturday morning kids' TV show that they'd strung a load of episodes together, something like fucking Power Rangers, but they took all of the fun out of it. Anything that they did, any of the jokes that the banter shit that they tried to put in to be funny fell fucking flat. Richard Madden was awful. The only positive contribution for me that he had to this film was the bit where they were all beating the shit out of him, because I just really enjoyed seeing a bad TV actor in a Marvel movie getting the shit beaten out of him. It was so self-serious and thought it was really, really kind of profound, but it was just not. It did it so badly that nothing held any weight. I mean, it's difficult with Marvel movies because they announce their stable of movies so far in advance that you know what the consequences are going to be to a certain extent. You know if people are going to die or if they're not. But to be perfectly honest, even if the seriousness in this was done well, I would not have given a shit about any of these characters apart from Brian Tyree Henry's. And that's it. And that's just because, he had a nice little family unit going on.
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie was just nowhere to be seen in it. And when she was not good. For essentially, really probably the big hitter in this. She was fucking awful. Like, her, just as a singled out example, what the fuck was her accent meant to be? Because it changed sometimes 2 or 3 times mid-scene.
The fact that they have Angelina Jolie in the MCU and she's essentially the mad cat lady of the MCU is such a fucking weird choice. Like, it seemed like she was kind of getting her shit together towards the end there. But it almost feels like they were tempted to go, but she could go off at any moment, as if it's like a bit of a joke.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, the whole, essentially, she's got essentially a form of a bad update, bad programming, and PTSD.
The fact that they called, like, whatever it was she had, Mad Weary as well, like, that, what the fuck, right? They can't have missed the fact that could be some kid on a night out going, mate, I'm gonna bugger off, I'm Mad Weary. So that just made me laugh from there anytime they fucking said it.
It was not.
I mean, I'm guessing that comes from the comics. So
it does, but tweak it, change it to MW or something.
I'm fucking mad weary of the Marvel universe at this point. Fucking. Go on.
Sorry,
I'm just going to keep ranting if you leave me to it. So go on.
No, and I mean it's. I don't know. I mean, I really think I enjoyed it as much as I did because of lowered expectations. And the next watch is going to be fascinating. Just remembered a bit of news that I forgot to talk about. I'll pick that up after. But I'm looking forward to watching it again just to kind of get my perspective, like, just align my perspective. Like Black Widow, I quite liked it in the cinema, and I could barely fucking make it through it at home. And I wonder whether Eternals might suffer a little bit of the same. But for what it's worth, if you had another one that had those characters fucking just interplaying with each other, yeah, go on then. What I don't need is just all the fucking world building that they're trying to... Like, the MCU is already big enough. So... And it's like there's so many potential threats now in the MCU that it's like, Arse, like, is he just going to be another threat? Because in Loki, they've introduced Kang the Conqueror. With Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, are they going to be introducing another a big bad in there as well, or is Kang going to be the big bad? But then if you've got Kang the Conqueror or Arse, who's this like fucking intergalactic big boy, then it's like, well, is there going to be a battle of the big bads then? It kind of feels like it's sprawling off in so many different directions at this point.
Yeah, it does feel for the first time since really like the first Avengers movie, like Marvel don't really know the direction they're going in, and what made it work with the first 3 phases, was it? Let's say it was. What made that work is they seem to have control. So they seem to be, they seem to know exactly where they were going. They knew their end destination, just the way they were going to get there might alter ever so slightly. Now they don't seem to have a clue where they're going. It's like they've gone, all right, we're going to go out for a burger. We're going to go, let's just drive round till we find one.
Yeah. Oh, and the fucking arrogance of having an end credits. Not just a mid credits, but an absolute fucking arse end credits scene. After this piece of shit of a movie. What the fuck? I was sat there seething, watching these fucking credits roll by and by
and
by.
I was sat there kind of going, she's only here because I wanted to watch the end credits. She's going to be so angry.
Yeah, and those end credits, the thing is, if it was accepted Marvel, like MCU logic now, that the mid-credits is the one that really sets shit up, and the end credits is one that is just, like, basically for the real fucking hardcore fans, at least then you'd know. But I watched that scene with, like, Kit Harington, right, he's important all of a sudden then. I know they mentioned his uncle earlier on. Who the fuck's his uncle? Why has he got this sword? And then, why the fuck is Blade talking to him? And it's like, all these different fucking questions now. And it's like, it is the serialization of the MCU and like setting all these things up and then paying off later on. But as Mark said, they had focus. Like, at the end of the Avengers, you had, like, the reveal that actually Thanos is kind of behind this all. And then it's boiling up to Thanos and then pays off at the end of Phase 3. And now, just echoing, sorry, but it is like, right, let's just chuck a load of shit at the wall and see what sticks. And the thing is, they have 10 Eternals here. And it's like they're throwing Eternals at the wall and seeing which ones of them stick at this point.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine. Gilgamesh, who, by the way, was one of the most fun ones, is gone.
He's dead.
Sprite could not give a fuck about,
yeah,
is gone.
I do like the fact that they have basically left it open to recast anyone they fancy as Sprite.
She's human now. Right. So.
Yeah, no, but like for the next one, they could go, look, Sprite, oh, you look so grown up, and she could just be a completely fucking different person.
True. We need you back. Yeah, we need to re-eternalise it.
They also said, you will turn into a human and you will grow old. They didn't say they lost the powers. They could literally just say to her, oh, I didn't lose my powers, I'm just going to get old, so I could just... And she basically was Mystique.
Yeah,
no, quite. I mean, why not? I mean, but it does feel like there's a good amount of hubris to this whole project at this stage, where you're introducing so many fucking characters that no one has had any previous experience with. They're making the same mistake that the DC movies were doing. Like, okay, here's the Flash, here's Cyborg, we saw how that went, and yet Marvel have gone, nah, we can do it better. And now you've got basically the worst reviewed MCU film pretty much ever. A film that's done all right at the box office, but is going to increasingly have competition in the coming weeks. I don't think it's going to hold very well this weekend. And yet, I liked the characters together. but it did take too long at the end, but I can't say I was that bored. I liked Gemma Chan. She can stay.
Yeah.
I quite liked Kit Harington. I would have had more of him in the film. Like, he actually had some fucking chemistry with her. Richard Madden, like Beck said, like, he's fucking brutal. He's basically, right, be Superman, but bad.
Yeah.
And it does the minimum viable product version of that.
Didn't the boys already do that?
I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just...
Oh.
Go on.
You're stopping yourself.
No, yeah. No, please, Bex, go on.
It's an embarrassment of a movie. It's an embarrassment to the MCU. If I was involved in it, I would be embarrassed to be involved in it. And I am embarrassed having seen it.
You really didn't
I
like
fucking
it
hated it. From the moment that fucking song dropped, I was just like, nah. That has emotionally snipped me off this movie. And I really, really fucking like Gemma Chan. I want her to be... I'd like her to be in something where she plays a human, just to see if she could do it. I wonder if they keep casting her as robots, because
Crazy Rich Asians.
Well,
Crazy
I haven't
Rich
seen that. Is
Asians.
she good in it?
She's fucking great. And the thing is, right, she's playing this woman who is, like, really successful when she's got the husband and she's rich and she's got a kid. But as stuff goes through the film, she's very, very human.
Okay, so she plays a convincing human. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
seriously, Crazy Rich Asians, good movie.
All right, I'll give it a watch.
Wait, was she in Captain Marvel?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
told you
but
she'd
she was
been in
like-
another one.
Yeah, we didn't.
She was like blue skinned or something, so they're
Oh.
like, people wouldn't recognise her, cast her again.
Fair enough.
I liked it, but like I say, I've got a feeling lowered expectations played a part. But I really like Tyree Henry. I really like Barry Keoghan, Gemma Chan, the sign language girl. Forgive me, what was her name again? Lauren
Ridloff.
something. Rickoff. Yeah, good. Liked, fucking loved. Oh, actually, Kumail Nanjiani was great as well. But, like, the fucking moment where she and Barry Keoghan are being a little bit, like, sign language flirty with each other, and Kumail Nanjiani's just like, what's this? Is this new? I hate it. That was fucking great.
Those two were really cute, actually. They were really lovely cast against each other.
Yeah.
And I will say, actually, like, I thought that the whole... at the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, where they are like, okay, they are ideologically disagreeing, and Kingo is like, look, I'm out. I agree with him, but I'm not going to hurt you. I'm out. And I was convinced he was going to come in and save the day at some point, and he doesn't. Yeah. And it is just like he had an ideological disagreement with him, doesn't make him a bad guy, but he's going to take himself out of the situation because he doesn't want to hurt his friends. I thought that was something interesting for these films. I mean, like, Sprite's motivation was less so. Just like, you just really want to bang Richard Madden, so you're going to follow him. Yeah, all right. What?
Yeah, it was.
But that's what it was, though, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Like, you didn't really get a sense that she actually agreed with him fundamentally. Like, at least... Kumail Nanjiani's character was actually giving it some... Oh, and Kumail Nanjiani's valet was fucking brilliant as well. I'm starting to remember the things I actually liked about the film now. But at the same time, Becky calling it an embarrassment and whatnot, I can kind of understand that. Next to Shang-Chi, it's just like, what the fuck?
Well,
and you guys haven't seen Shang-Chi. God, watch Shang-Chi. It's on Disney Plus on Friday. Report back next week.
Yeah, we will be doing. So I'm still quite angry that we didn't get to see that at cinema.
Mm.
It's fun. And, if we're done, I've got a really good tangent, but I want to do ratings.
Right. I'm definitely not shit, because I actually really quite liked it. Yeah. Vex, what are you, Vex?
Shit.
Fair play. I'm definitely not shit. I reserve the right to change my mind, as I did with Black Widow and Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, our audience poll. Definitely not shit, 47%. Touching cloth, 20%. Shit, 20%. And Geostorm are 13%.
I knocked my phone off the bed violently, voting shit on that earlier.
Nice.
So fucking this film made me so fucking angry. The fact that it was so long as well. Not only shit, but really long and shit. And it didn't drag. You love that it didn't drag. It wasn't that it was draggy. It was just that it was endlessly shit.
Did you enjoy the when it opened and there was just like an opening crawl of text at the beginning?
No.
In the beginning.
Yeah, see that as well. That really fucking pissed me off in the film on the inside. In my brain I was like, oh, that's a really fucking good start, innit? Shit. See, I could not have had lower expectations for this movie. I had hopes for it, but I had really low expectations. So even do you know what? Even a fucking Power Rangers movie would have got a better vote out of me.
I liked the Power Rangers movie.
Do you know why?
It's good.
Because they remembered to be fun.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Fucking piece of shit.
Anyway.
So.
Have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever? Putting 4 or 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, The Dark Knight has got like all the orphans and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it was like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film-related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast you're listening to, pretty good, isn't it? Only problem is, it's about halfway through. Pretty soon, it'll be over. And then what are you going to do? Well, if you're a fan of this show, why not head over to wearepodsyndicate.com and subscribe to our brand new feed, Pod Syndicate, The Bonus Shows. Every week, your hosts from Beyond the Neon, Chinstroker vs. Punter, Entertainment Landfill, Film Bastards, His Film Her Movie, and What's on Tap will be dropping bonus shows right onto that feed. These shows might be collaborations and crossovers, or they might be archive episodes, interviews, one-offs, and other treats from across the Pod Syndicate network. So, prepare yourself for the inevitable disappointment of this Pod Syndicate show ending by heading to wearepodsyndicate.com and clicking on The Bonus Shows.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled Pod Syndicate podcast.
Moving on.
So, you can watch Shang-Chi on Friday.
I will.
And you can watch it in one of 2 versions.
Ooh, yeah, this is a bit of news.
Here we go. I'm going to put my geek trousers on for a second, guys. Strap in. So, Disney have announced that they are going to be introducing IMAX enhanced versions of 13, I think it is, of the MCU films, including Shang-Chi, where you'll be able to choose the standard versions or the IMAX ones with the variable aspect ratios. Or even if they were all shot in IMAX aspect ratio, just in that ratio. So, Shang-Chi, apparently the whole thing was in that ratio. So, you will see maybe very tiny black bars at the top and bottom of the screen if you watch it in this version, but you will see an awful lot more image at the top and bottom. Now, there's been some Dune screenshot comparisons around lately to give an idea of the difference, which I want to try and show you guys, just to give you an idea of just how much more image there actually is. Because I don't think you guys have. Yeah, oh fucking hell, that's a beautiful example. So I can screen share on this, can't I? I'm pretty sure I can.
So I need to just go into.
I think I can. Yeah, share screen. Here we go. Open system preferences. Yeah. I can fucking do it. Go on. How the fuck do I do that then? Oh, fuck it. I'll just send you a link instead. And this gives a good idea of the amount of extra screen you are seeing. Cancel that. Fuck's sake. Where's the chat? There's the chat. And paste it in the chat. There we go. Right. Have a bang on that link. Scroll a little bit down.
Yeah. Open it up. Oh. There we go. Opening. Accept cookies.
Fuck you, Theresa May.
Fucking slightly cookies sent. Whoa. That's mental.
Yeah. So, to be fair, that's 1.43 to 1 IMAX, not 1.9 to 1, which is what they, what you usually kind of get on disc and whatnot, and what you get in most in IMAX cinemas. This is an actual IMAX image. But it gives an example of just how much there is. And so, like the left and the right, you're not losing anything from the left and right. You are just literally gaining more image.
Yeah.
So, I am fucking pumped to rewatch some MCU films, but like having that either in certain sequences or all the way through. And apparently Infinity War and Endgame have that aspect ratio all the way through them. I rewatched Infinity War a few months back, but didn't watch Endgame, so I'll probably watch Endgame pretty soon in that. But I think it's really interesting that Disney are adding this. I think it's interesting that IMAX are adding this, because IMAX are almost going, essentially, this is free publicity. If people actually understand how much more they can see, seeing films in this way, that's only going to boost us. And at home, Disney are like, this is like a premium like format that we have over competitors.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really exciting, and I hope that Disney roll that out to more films, more content. I think it's a really pro-consumer move, and especially the fact they're giving people the choice.
That's it. Yeah, it's clever that they're doing it and giving people the choice.
But it's like I don't understand. Like, looking at that Dune image, why would you want to pick the other one?
Exactly, yeah.
It's fucking crazy. So, really, really excited for that, and I hope it bodes for more in the future. It's one of the things that really fucking annoys me about the 4K Nolan films on like iTunes and stuff, that Nolan wouldn't allow that ratio to be done for digital formats. And it's like, fair play to him, he's trying to preserve the best quality experience and whatnot, but there is a set part of me that is like, most people do like streaming, and people do watch streaming a lot, and hey Nolan, I bet you watch a fair bit of stuff on streaming, so
it was quite refreshing.
Maybe loosen the taps a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm not going to start shit talking, and I'm not saying you were there, shit talking Nolan, but it was quite interesting the fact that somebody put forward the question to Paul Thomas Anderson about his thoughts on streaming and people watching his films on what is there. And he was very much like, I want you to see them for the first time in the cinema. So I want people to go and see Licorice Pizza for the first time in the cinema. He said, but nobody's going to go and see Boogie Nights for the first time in the cinema. He was like, so I hope people do catch them on streaming. That's where my movies are going to live from now on. Is on streaming. He said, because that's the thing. He said, people don't have 35mm projectors in their houses. And it's like, it's quite refreshing that you've got a guy there saying, no, go and see it at the cinema, but I am cool with you watching my movies wherever you want to watch them. Have at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying either's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's quite. They were clearly trying to get him to say the other thing
Yeah.
And didn't expect him to be as just pro-film.
This,
as Paul Thomas Anderson always is. Pro the just watch fucking films.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's like, preference. I'd love it if you could see all my films in the cinema all the time. But that's not practically possible. So, yeah, I'd like you to have one go at it at the cinema, but after that, sure, have at it. Perfectly sensible way of going about it, frankly.
Did you see I don't know whether we discussed it on the podcast or whether you did it before I came on, but the John Krasinski thing?
Yes.
What was that then?
Basically, John Krasinski was talking to Paul Thomas Anderson and had seen a film, and he was like, "Oh, what did you think of it?" No, it wasn't a very good movie. And then Paul Thomas Anderson basically schooled him on. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on.
What film? Sorry.
It doesn't
mention the film. I don't think.
No.
Oh, okay.
Discussing a movie Krasinski had just seen, Krasinski told Anderson it's not a good movie, to which PTA nicely chastised him. He so sweetly took me aside and said very quietly, "Don't say that. Don't say that it's not a good movie. If it wasn't for you, that's fine. But in our business, we've all got to support each other. The movie was very artsy. You've got to support the big swing. If you put it out there that the movie's not good, they won't let us make more movies like that."
Yeah, it's not great for a director to shit talk a film, but to be fair, Krasinski's still relatively new to being a film director who people actually give a shit about game.
Yeah.
That's probably just a lesson that he needs to learn, but yeah, he needs to learn that, because I bet that film's director's not going to be super kind when
he doesn't
your
mention
film isn't received
yeah,
well. Yeah, no, I know, but...
And it wasn't publicly, it was just in conversation, but... yeah.
But it is very much... Paul Thomas Anderson's kind of famous for just being
just love
an
film for being
all-round
fun.
good guy.
Yeah.
Even though, a massive cokehead in the late 90s.
Yeah.
But, was it Fiona Apple who was just no, I don't know who it was, but it was in the late 90s, I was once trapped in a room with Quentin Tarantino and PTA, basically just high and talking about films, and it was the most insufferable thing I have ever sat through.
Yeah.
And it's I'd love to listen to those two talk about films, but if you added cocaine into the mix, I bet that would be fucking insufferable.
Oh, I'd fucking love it.
But, they'd just be constantly trying to fucking talk over each other and whatnot, wouldn't they? Or just, either that or just, if it was the other way round and they were just both really fucking into what each other was saying, then fair enough.
It was Amy Mann.
Amy Mann, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Right. I'm going to go for a pee and grab a drink.
Cool.
Should we take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break for a minute.
Cool.
Right. I need to grab my charger anyway. What's up, Doc? What's up?
She stayed on super late. I didn't. If
Say after it.
and she only 13 shots off at
Huh?
want a tuck sandwich?
Yeah. If there is enough left.
What?
If there's enough left.
There is. It's pretty falling apart.
I'm back.
Hello.
Oh dear. Right. My local Cineworld have got Rocky vs. Drago for sale.
Ooh.
Let's see if Hull have got it.
Let's have a look. It is not on the app, but then again.
Oh, it's on the website. Thursday, 25th of November.
My birthday!
What's this for?
Sorry?
Rocky vs. Drago.
Oh, nice.
That's my birthday.
So, it's playing at the View like the Tuesday, but it's not going to cost me anything for the Cineworld, so...
Yeah. All I know is I am definitely seeing it.
Hell yeah. Oh, man. Fucking looking forward to that. I started watching the making of today.
Oh, yeah.
Have you watched any of that yet?
Watched it yet, no.
Oh, it's great. It's just Stallone, like, just fucking stream of consciousness. Like, it feels like if you had that as an audio track, God, you'd just be gently lulled to sleep by Stallone just fucking reminiscing.
Yeah, he talks so well about film.
Yeah, he really does. I'm glad this thing exists.
It's mad that he just literally a guy who he worked with, one of his photographers, one of his cameramen that he has that works for him, just said, "Can I film you while we're doing it?" And he was like, "Yeah, why not? How much do you need?" And the guy's like, "I was just gonna film you with my iPhone." He went, "Yeah, but if you want why don't we just turn it into a little making of?" And basically just hired the guy as a director to do it.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I'm only about 15 minutes in, but I'm having a good time, and it's 100% going through the Rockies and the Creed. And the Creeds over November and December now, I think.
Yeah, they're always good to revisit.
I haven't done a Rocky series watch in a while now.
Since we did it for before Creed?
Did we do because I know we covered fucking Rocky 4. We did a commentary for that back in the day. Which... If I remember to include this, folks, is in the back catalogue of episodes on the normal feed. It's there somewhere, you can find it.
Yeah.
But did we do
did,
all of them?
I don't think we did all of them, no, we didn't, did we?
No.
No, we didn't. We definitely didn't. But
I don't know how worth it is, actually really... I mean, I'll talk about them and what we've been watching and whatnot, but I kind of feel like
that,
what can you say about Rocky?
Yeah. I think on the Rocky 4 one, I think we both got drunk as well.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure I did.
I think we're both quite drunk on the Rocky 4 commentary by the end of it.
It's going to be interesting, that. It was weird, though, because the View one said that there was a Q&A.
Yeah.
The Cineworld one doesn't.
I think
it's going to be the same DCP. I'm assuming it's a recorded Q&A.
Yeah, it's recorded Q&A. I think it's happening tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
He's introducing the premiere of it is in Philly.
That's great.
And he's there. He'd make a really big deal of it.
I love it. I love that this is happening. It's so random, but it's brilliant that it's it is actually getting a bit of a big deal about it. Fucking great. 40 minutes extra. And I know he's taken some stuff out. I think the runtime's just over 2 hours, if I remember correctly. But it's fucking exciting. It's really, really exciting. I'm getting more and more up for it as it gets closer.
Yeah, I just can't wait.
I wonder if it's playing the Odeon earlier than that, because I want it. Anyway, I tell you what, guys, why don't we do your what we've been watching? I don't have any this week, so folks, so I'm gonna hand it over.
Well, we rewatched Escape from New York, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I've talked about it the other week, and we rewatched Escape from LA a few weeks ago, didn't we?
And obviously, I think we watched this the night of the podcast, didn't we? After discussing the poster that we didn't get.
Escape from New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might have done, yeah. So we rewatched Escape from New York. I'm going to go on record now and say this is my favourite Carpenter movie.
It's very good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so brilliantly entertaining and so fantastic looking. I didn't realise until this week when I saw it on Twitter that James Cameron was one of the matte painting artists.
Yeah, he did the stuff that looks like a computer grid.
Yeah.
It's just like...
And he also did like some of the backdrop scenes. Like the matte paintings.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's that kind of blew my mind a little bit. It's like very much James Cameron will be a guy who will tell you how talented he is, but he does kind of have the talent to back it up across the board. That man knows a lot of facets of cinema.
Yeah.
It's there's not too much to say about Escape from New York other than that it is just it manages to do what so many films do in an opening like half an hour, where a film will take a half an hour to establish everything. It manages to do all that in literally a minute and 12 seconds of Jamie Lee Curtis doing a voiceover to a computer screen.
And then it just gets on with its shit.
Yeah, and backed up by just a fucking banger of a score.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, I don't normally notice scores, but I commented to you while we were watching it, didn't I?
Yeah, it feels part of it, and just it is an absolute. It's perfection.
Yeah, should have got the poster.
Maybe we should have got the poster. Yeah, we might. It still exists. We can get it if we want to
true.
at some point. But yeah,
The ones that arrived are good, though, aren't they?
The ones that have arrived are good. Yeah, we just need the other ones to arrive, don't we?
We do. Then a little job for Mark on Saturday.
A little job for Mark on Saturday. Yeah. And then next one, actually, you can do this one because this was your idea.
Oh, so we watched. I mentioned it at the end after we'd finished recording, I think, hadn't we? Last week. Dave Made a Maze, which is...
You talked about that last week, didn't you? Or did you just say you were going to watch
No,
it?
I just asked if either of you guys had seen anything about it.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so basically, this guy is a bit of a kind of shiftless, kind of jumps from one thing to another kind of guy. And starts, when his girlfriend's away for the weekend, he starts making like a box maze in his living room. And she gets back and she's like talking to him in the maze, and she's like, come out.
We're literally introduced in the start of the film. We don't get too much away because what is it? But we're introduced in the start of the movie. Is literally her getting back and him in the box maze.
Yeah. So
as just a voice.
So seeing it as she's seeing it, it's like 2.5 boxes in it. In the living room.
It's just in the middle of a not massive living room.
Yeah, and she's saying to him, come out and talk to me properly. And he's like, I'm lost, I can't find my way out. And obviously she's thinking, you've just been a fucking idiot, Dave. But yeah, turns out it's bigger on the inside, and the film is bonkers.
Yeah.
I really fucking enjoyed this film.
There's a, what's it, what are they called again? The thing that's chasing them. A Minotaur.
Oh, a Minotaur, yeah.
There's a Minotaur.
Yeah.
There's a Minotaur on the inside chasing them.
Well, Minotaurs do traditionally, protect mazes.
Protect mazes, yeah.
This one's made of cardboard, obviously.
But all the bits that are inside that are chasing people are made of cardboard.
Yeah.
And Dave has got obsessed with continuously making new bits of the maze while he's in it.
He's got to complete it because he never completes anything.
Yeah, so he's just running around with a bag that's just got loads of cardboard in it. and tape and bits.
It's really fucking odd, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing is, the good thing is, it's an 80-minute movie that is just really quite sweet
Yeah.
Handles its graphic violence that makes it completely not graphic at all.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But it's really quite sweet and
really well made as well. Like obviously they've made it the way that they have because I'm guessing is very low budget.
Because they've got no budget hardly.
But the talent that's involved in the actual making of it is sufficient to make it feel like it has a bigger budget than it does. Like essentially all the sets and everything are just brown cardboard. But there's that one scene that's really good where they walk into that room where there's a table and chairs and stuff like that, and
it's forced perspective.
Yeah, and it's like a forced perspective scene into, and you see it as they're walking into it, and it's table and chairs and stuff like that, and then they just gradually start going around and like showing you how it doesn't actually work. Like the table is
actually different bits of bits of cardboard that are in different places.
Yeah,
we watched it on Prime, I believe.
Yeah.
So check it out if you're on your streaming system, on your streaming services, guys, because it is a really quite a fun watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and all the characters are quite entertaining.
Yeah, they are. Oh, the cardboard vagina's quite funny as well.
Yes. That's not as bad as it sounds.
No, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's just funny.
Yeah, it's something that's not supposed to. Yeah, but ends up looking like a...
Yeah.
Yeah. Interestingly, the lead actor is Nick Thune, who is a popular American comedian who also, in the everybody's favourite Cam Gajandi movie, Bad Johnson, where his penis comes to life, plays his penis when it comes to life.
Oh, nice.
And he's really funny in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
More people should watch that movie.
Yeah, they should.
Yes. It's also known as a schlong story.
Right, okay. Fair play.
That was it. That was all we had for what we've been watching.
Anyone want to know what I watched on my
Oh, did you watch what you watched?
I did, yeah.
Sorry, Doc.
Yeah. So I rewatched The Night House.
Nice. Rebecca Hall. Speak to me passive aggressive again.
That scene is just magical. It's a really fucking good film. I'm always a bit nervous watching stuff soon after I've seen it in the cinema, which it isn't that long really, is it? Just in case it alters my view on it, but it didn't. Still 5-star banger, so good stuff. I watched A Classic Horror Story. Have either of you seen this on?
Oh,
bubbling around on Netflix. Yeah,
I watched it. I watched it a couple months back. I think I talked about it briefly. What do you think of it?
Do you know what? I really enjoyed it. I think it.
Okay.
It obviously is borrowing heavily from tropes from other movies, but that's kind of the whole point. It's this like jumped up film student guy that just happens to be in. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, happens to have connections so that he can actually essentially make a snuff movie, but all his inspiration is coming from movies that he's obsessed with. So obviously it's going to copy those movies. I think the central performance from the main girl is really good. But yeah, it's just basically, it's a classic horror story. It is what it is. There's the ditzy girl that wears not much clothing. There's the really serious, that got your attention, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
The really serious, like, guy who's, like, heavily into film and all this kind of shit. And then there's the naive young girl who happens to be knocked up. So I don't know how that works on the whole final girl rules. But, yeah, I really enjoyed it, to be fair. I'm not so keen on the middle section with the mayor and the table. And the meeting and stuff like that. But when she realises what's going on and essentially goes on a revenge kick, that's quite good.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I watched Pete's Dragon.
Yay!
So yeah, obviously shit went wrong when you guys sort of both reviewed it and I was meant to, and I didn't get a chance to watch it, despite having weeks worth of notice. But I had a day set aside that I was going to watch it and then couldn't. It's really good, isn't it? I cried.
It's brilliant. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Still don't like Bryce Dallas Howard, but she didn't detract too much from the movie. Yeah, really enjoyed it. It's really nice and really heartfelt. Obviously the story is different to the original, but similar enough that it's obvious that they've just had to change shit to make it live action.
Yeah.
And modernise it a little bit. But yeah, really liked it.
Good.
Yeah, that's me.
Fucking A. Okay, cool. Do we have ideas for the next patron vote?
Do you have yours?
Yeah.
I don't have mine. But you guys say yours, then I'll say mine.
I don't know if I've already picked this one before, but because it's staring at me from the corner of the room, because it's just gone into its frame today, I'm going to go with They Live.
I'll do. So They Live. I am going to go with a film I've not seen before.
Okay.
And I'm interested. And I bought it on iTunes because it was like $1.99 the other day. Paul Verhoeven's Black Book.
Is that the one with...
Curry's Van Houten.
Ooh, yeah, that's an interesting choice. That's a very interesting choice. I've already made my choice now, haven't I?
You do, really?
Yep.
Second, I will pick one. I'm going to go for the Kim Basinger and Val Kilmer movie, The Real McCoy.
You do.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Good. So that is They Live, Black Book, and The Real McCoy. So quite an eclectic selection again, I'd say. So we'll put that poll up. For patrons, patreon.com/filmbastards.
What happened? You get bored?
Played some slots.
You should read some books. I'm gonna buy you one.
I've read books. What is it with her?
Name one.
One what?
Book.
Called Poker for Dummies. I believe you may have read it.
I like him. Wow, you made it to the second dinner break. I must have fired 24 tournaments before I lasted that long.
So how many are left?
4 tables, so should be done tomorrow.
How much cards do you play?
40 hands an hour, 8 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week.
Do you do anything else?
Like what?
Like anything. Go to a park, a concert, a museum.
Museum?
Yeah, I'll buy you a book on it. It's called Museums for Dummies. Boom. No, but seriously, you should do something else. Just for variety.
I like playing cards.
Let's talk The Card Counter, directed by Paul Schrader, starring Oscar Isaac, Tiffany Haddish, Ty Sheridan, and Willem Dafoe. Oscar Isaac plays William Tell, a poker player who likes to kind of keep out of the limelight and basically lives his life making money at kind of like small stakes poker. He encounters a young man played by Ty Sheridan who knows what William's past was and wants to help him get revenge against someone who rather shaped his life. Tiffany Haddish plays a kind of a poker stable owner of sorts who is essentially looking for talent to go and make money on the poker circuit. Bex, so Paul Schrader is an interesting filmmaker who, until First Reformed, it kind of seemed like was maybe never going to make anything good again. With The Card Counter, do you think that First Reformed was a blip, or is it like, shit, do you know what, when he actually gets a good cast around, like with him. He can do good shit here.
No, it was a blip.
Wow. Okay. You're not having a good week.
I'm not really.
Bless you.
No.
Okay.
It just, I found it really dry and boring. The performances were good. I liked Oscar Isaac, and I liked Ty Sheridan, and Tiffany Haddish was Tiffany Haddish. So, that was all fine. It wasn't anything. The story was just, it just didn't grab me.
I bet, were you thinking, oh fuck, when the titles play out against that just like green felt and that really like just stark font. I mean, I liked it.
I loved
but
it.
I could see,
what is it?
But I could see how it would be like, oh, right, okay then. No, that's interesting. We'll get further into it. Mark.
Yes.
Oscar Isaac is a guy who can pretty much pick whatever the fuck he wants to do at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you think he wanted to work with Paul Schrader because of First Reformed, or do you think he actually looked at the screenplay and went, I've got some shit I can do here?
I think he wanted to work with Paul Schrader probably because I'm going to just spitball here, either basing this on no information whatsoever, but I'm guessing that that films like Taxi Driver and Raging Bull and Last Temptation of Christ and Blue Collar, that these movies, were movies that Oscar Isaac watched when he was young and were what got him interested in film. Just based on the fact that he often will pick sort of films where you look at it and go, that seems like it could have been a mid-70s to early 80s studio film. And he does have those in him. And I think that maybe First Reform probably had something to do with it, but I think it was more to work with a in the groove Schrader rather than a Canyons and Dog Eat Dog Schrader.
Yeah.
Or more Dying of Light. Dog Eat Dog wasn't that bad, actually. Dog Eat Dog was alright.
Yeah, the career arc of Schrader is fucking fascinating, isn't it?
Yes.
Like the way he's just come back here. And I will submit to the court that the card counter may have been Mark Nip.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think it definitely was. It's like you said, Bex, about it. It's very dry, but I was very aware whilst watching it. I could very much see that this is a guy who 45 years ago wrote Taxi Driver. I felt that connective tissue was certainly there, and I think there's not just a Taxi Driver thing there. There's elements of, the thing is, when Schrader's good, his fingerprints are all over it. When he's not, and this includes his writing as well as his directing, his fingerprints are nowhere near it. It doesn't feel like a Paul Schrader movie. Or it doesn't feel like that style of Paul Schrader movie. Whereas this had hints of Rolling Thunder, was certainly in there as well. With the fact that you've got you can pull this from Taxi Driver and you can pull it from Rolling Thunder. I'm thinking about it more. I think there's as much Rolling Thunder in it as there is Taxi Driver. Which he co-wrote Rolling Thunder. But you've got that ex-military man who is, from Rolling Thunder, he's quite in control of his life, but has those flashes of remembering previous violence. But then you've also got the unhingedness in the background of somebody like Travis Bickle that is certainly there. And it did feel like there was something within that. And those movies are very much, they're the movies that I watched that made me fall in love with movies, for sure. So it was quite nice watching. Schrader is a very uncompromising writer, like somebody like John Milius, but not. I don't think he's a terribly great director. I think he's a perfectly competent director that every so often can churn out a very good movie, but also can churn out things like Canyons, Dying of the Light, Witch Hunt, and things like this that are just not really very good. But yeah, I think I think that it's clever that this isn't the movie that the trailers show you, but it's definitely the movie that Schrader wanted to make. But it's not a 5-star banger, is what I would say, because it's one thing that that Schrader never does is his movies are never complicated. What you think is going to happen is what will happen. They're a journey movie, not a destination movie. It's, you are, as a watcher, you are very much, you are looking at the sat nav and going, and that's where we're going. And that is where you are going. There's going to be no recalculating and you go, oh, holy fuck, I didn't know we're going there. It is going to take you to that place.
Yeah. It's an odd duck, isn't it? It like you say, Mark. It's definitely the film that Schrader wanted to make. It feels entirely not of a piece with the mainstream films of today, and it's fucking fascinating that he got the cast that he got. Seeing Tiffany Haddish in this, where it is like she is Tiffany Haddish, but just like not being funny. But it still works. At least it did for me.
No,
she's quite charming. Actually, she's got a nice screen presence. She's very charismatic.
Yeah,
it's just odd seeing her not being funny.
Does.
Huh?
It's odd seeing her not being funny.
No, but you're watching it going, oh right, you don't have to be funny in movies. You are still just as charming when you're not being funny.
Which is clearly a choice that has been made. She's obviously wanting to expand her repertoire. And she do you know what? She does a perfectly serviceable job as it. They all do. It's just, yeah.
I wish she was in it more. This is the thing, right? I mean, this film's about hour 55 long. It's not short. But yeah, I wish there was more of her and him. I thought they had great chemistry. And it's like, when Oscar Isaac, goes to a hotel room, and it's just I need to admit my feelings for you and whatnot, and then they, go at it. That shit's hot. It is I really, those two need to fucking kiss. And now they're kissing. This is great. And which is ace. And it's a shame that, I think for me, I really, really I was so into it for a large portion of it. I fucking really liked the mood, the voiceover, the kind of the mystery and whatnot. But the importance that it places on his relationship with Ty Sheridan, where I didn't really get it. I get that he's trying to stop him from going down the road, a road of violence and whatnot. But Ty Sheridan, the performance, and I think it's in the performance, and I don't think it's necessarily Sheridan, but the performance feels very sleepy. It feels very apathetic.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's more Schrader's writing and directing than Ty Sheridan being like that, because I think Ty Sheridan is, I think he's a very good young actor. But I think that one thing I will say about Ty Sheridan is, again, a phrase that I hate that we use pretty much weekly now, is no matter what, he always does seem to understand the assignment.
No. But he does. That's the thing. But it by the time it goes to Oscar Isaac, like it kind of like it's almost set up like he's going to win the poker game, and like that USA guy is going to be like fucking humiliated or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then it just veers off in, oh no, actually Ty Sheridan's going to go and try and kill Willem Dafoe, and he's obviously not going to kill Willem Dafoe, and then Oscar Isaac's going to go after Willem Dafoe. It's like, right, you basically went the least interesting way that you could have gone. The thing is, I liked Isaac's character, and I liked his relationship with Haddish, and it was actually a bit annoying that it was, do you know what? Cycles of violence beget cycles of violence, which feels none more Schrader.
Yeah.
But, you know, the kind of like the insanely fucking bittersweet ending of First Reformed, where, if I remember correctly, he's got like barbed wire all over him and whatnot. He's basically about to kill himself, and then Amanda Seyfried comes in and like hugs him.
Yeah.
And then it ends. And that's a great ending. And here you've got the two like touching their fingers up against the glass. And it's like, I haven't had enough of you two to necessarily believe that relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm annoyed that he's just gone down that route anyway. And the ending really did take me out of it. And it is because it's not what I wanted the film to do, you know, and I you know, so I am annoyed at the film not being what I want it to be. But I think that's valid, because you spend enough time with these characters that it feels like it should be going down a more interesting route, or a route which, yeah, I don't know, pays off.
I think that one thing in terms of writing has always struggled with is relationships within his movies.
Do you know what they should have done?
But 2 seconds. But one thing I think is interesting is the fact that the movie opens and closes with the same line. When he says, you know, I never thought I'd be one who would be, I can't remember the exact line.
It would work well in isolation.
Institutionalized. It would work, yeah, basically it would settle well to be incarcerated, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's the opening line, what is it? And so as soon as I said that at the start, I thought, right, this is going to end up with him back in prison through his own choice.
Okay.
And it wasn't like I said very recently, it's not like I'm really good at finding out, you know, working out the endings movies. I just thought with that line, it's such a well thought out line that it's a signpost. Because that's what Schrader is like from his movies, and that's not for me, that's not a criticism, but I can absolutely see why I can see why people would find Schrader's movies, written or directed, cold.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with
that.
But I don't really care. I think if you want to see a warm version of this, go watch Rounders. Rounders is great.
Oh, I like Rounders.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, like the first 2 acts, I was like pretty into. I mean, like I say, I wasn't loving the Sheridan-Isaac relationship. I was fucking interested to see where it was going. You know, I liked the journey. I just didn't particularly like the destination. That's how I would sum it up. Really.
Yeah, I will admit I didn't. It's in a movie where everybody feels quite quite realistic as their people. They feel like people, like people that could exist. Like, you know, if I'm going to do my clock face at like 1. So do like the clock face of reality of about what is it?
Okay.
So like they could exist at like 1 a.m. for that. Whereas, and that's where Oscar Isaac was, Tiffany Haddish and Sheridan and bits like that. But Willem Dafoe did feel a little bit more cartoonish.
Yeah.
Played bad general. And he did feel a little bit like that. And so with that, it kind of took away from that a little bit. And then but it was quite interesting with the VR perspective. So, you know, when you're getting the flashbacks,
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got what you meant.
So you had the camera bit for the flashback. So I'm just seeing it from Oscar Isaac, looking at what is it? It's a VR perspective.
Right.
So I'm fairly certain that it's been shot with a VR camera.
Oh. Right.
Which is why it looks fucking odd. But it's a different perspective to give it. I thought that was quite interesting, and it's the sort of shit that Schrader likes to do in his directed films when he's got some money.
That shot fucking ruled.
Yeah.
Like that, and that bit where Isaac and Haddish are walking through that, like,
the lights.
Fucking yeah. Like, and then it kind of like tracks around it and then pans out. That was lovely. Like, that was it got that. I think that cemented the oh shit, they kind of mean something to each other, don't they? Thing down. It just then you don't really get much of them together before you're getting towards the end of the film from there.
No, it doesn't. No,
it's an interesting film though. That's the thing, and it does feel like one of those they don't make them like this anymore kind of things. And I'm glad that this got a theatrical release. I'm glad that this wasn't just like content on Netflix for week 52 of year 2020. You know, like it feels like it's had some presence because it's got a theatrical release and people have taken notice of it, and people might not necessarily like it, but it's different. It's not Red Notice. You know, like
no.
it's yeah. And I from Becky's point, I get it that it's not your speed, and I think that's absolutely fair enough. And I think if I wasn't as in the tank as I was for kind of like the style of it, I think I wouldn't have had nearly as good a time with it. But
yeah, I mean,
I as it was, yeah.
Yeah, I loved those opening credits. I fucking loved those opening credits.
They were great.
They were achingly unfancy. Like there was a really fucking fancy version of it that looked like a fucking Bond opening credits done. And Schrader looked at it and went, fuck off. No. And then just went and just made it just for like 30 quid.
Yeah, quite.
I kind of admire that about it.
Yeah, definitely not shit. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not one that it's not one that's going to be in my top 10 at the end of the year or anything like that. Wasn't really expecting it to be, so it's not like it's a disappointment. But I really enjoyed it. I'd watch Tiffany Haddish in serious roles again, for sure. And yeah, good time.
Yeah, I'm definitely not shit as well. Bex.
The acting and the look of it pull it up from a shit to a touching cloth for me. The story's just boring.
Fair enough.
But then army shit never does kind of land with me. Like,
you like war films?
Like Vietnam movies.
Fair enough.
Not fucking Iraq movies.
Our audience poll, 60% definitely not shit, 20% touching cloth, and 20% shit.
Fair enough. Our last feature review for the week is what Apple are saying is their biggest opening weekend for Apple TV ever, but are providing no stats.
So, 18 people watched it!
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, fine. It feels like Apple TV is carving out a niche, to be fair. Like, people seem to respect it. They're making smart choices, so fair play. But yeah, this is Finch, directed by Miguel Sapochnik, starring Tom Hanks, Caleb Landry Jones, and a dog.
Can I just very quickly say one other thing about Card Counter that I forgot? It's a very, very quick thing.
Please.
How many different pages of producers were there on that movie?
That was fucking great. Martin Scorsese presents The Card Counter. Martin Scorsese and about a dozen other executive producers presented it, actually, but okay.
Sorry, it tickled me when that came up. I literally turned back to it and went, fairly certain we produced this as well. Sorry, carry on.
No, you're all good. It's a good point.
We may have to lose it. Floyd, put your foot on the gas. Do it. Do it. Just do it. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Go faster.
May I make a suggestion, Finch?
We have to get off this road.
What are you doing?
Overpass, that means an underpass.
I don't understand.
Now, hard left!
So, yeah, Finch is the story of Finch by Tom Hanks, who is surviving in basically a post-apocalyptic wasteland, but due to essentially radiation poisoning, he is dying. He has a dog called Dog, for the most part, and he wants the dog to be okay once he's gone, so he builds a robot, which is motion capture performed and voiced by Caleb Landry Jones. So, do you know what? This is one that when you said last week, Mark, I'm going to watch Finch, I was like, oh yeah, that's out. Okay, yeah, fine. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to watch Finch. And I'm going to start here, but I think it's going to be pretty high up in my surprises of the year, personally. Won't be in my top 10, so it's allowed, as per our rules. Mm-hmm. I thought it was charming. I thought it was obviously cribbing from a lot of other stuff, but I kind of don't care. It just did it. It was formula, but it did it really well. The Amblin logo comes up at the start, and you kind of know where you're at, and it feels Amblin-y. Mm-hmm. Like classical Amblin-y. And it's also helped by Tom Hanks, like, really, like, committing. And Caleb Landry Jones doing some fucking incredible motion capture work, along with some seamless CG. I thought it was cracking. I thought it was a lovely, lovely, lovely little film. And I know what Mark thought of it. So, Bex, what do you think of Finch?
Oh, you really need to stop coming to me first on this week. I've not had a good week with movies.
Fuck off, really?
It was
Finch.
It was so bleak and sad. And, like, I knew what it was about, so I wasn't expecting it to be, like, a fucking laugh riot or anything. But, Jesus Christ, having him, not even get to the Golden Gate Bridge. Let him get to the fucking bridge, then die. That was horrible. The bit where he's sat and they're able to go outside for the first time in ages without wearing the thing, and he's put on his special suit that he bought, and they're playing ball with the dog, and then he fucking coughs blood all over his special suit, and just how fucking sad he looks about it. have him die quietly. Like, that bit was horrible. The bit where he dies in the trailer and then the dog starts fucking howling, I was nearly in tears. The bit where Jeff is trying to get the dog to play ball with him, and the last time he throws it and the dog's coming back to him and you think, he's going to go to him, and then it just walks past and he's just like, please. In a really fucking sad voice. There was no reason for this film to be so sad. I know Tom Hanks is dying and that's why he's built the fucking robot to look after the dog, but Christ almighty. I felt like slitting my wrists after watching this film. But I'm not going to sit here and deny that it was good. It was good, but my soul wanted to, like, cry. What a bleak film.
Yeah, and I mean, I get that. Absolutely. And I think what kind of maybe helps you get through it is the fact the whole premise of the film is he knows he's fucking dying and he's got to teach this robot.
But there's ways to do it, isn't there?
But he teaches the robot.
Yeah, but I mean, there's ways to kill him off that aren't that horrible.
But what in that world?
Well, I just have him find him asleep and then bury him. You don't have to hear him coughing his last breath out and then have the dog howling in the trailer.
It's effective, though.
It is effective.
Obviously.
You don't let it upset you.
Hello, Kiki. You alright?
They should have got to the bridge and then, as they were like, stay there for a night, and then as they're about to set off the next day, find him dead in the trailer. Let him get to the fucking bridge. Bleak.
But Jeff carried the memory of him. I just thought, it was bleak. I just thought it was melancholy. Like, the mission was achieved. Anyway, but Mark, what do you think of Finch?
I was really quite taken with it, to be honest. I don't think it was that. I think it was bleak, but in a really odd way, in the sense that I think that the film was set in a bleak world, but showed you a sweetness within it of, you know, this guy essentially doing this thing of, he's got the dog. The dog has become is that important to him, but he knows that he's going to outlast the dog. But also, he can't give the dog to a relative. He literally has to build a robot to look after his dog because the dog is that important. The dog basically assumes the thing of a child there. But then at the same time, he has to kind of, the robot also becomes, you know, Jeff becomes a little bit of a child, but in a completely different way. That is that, and he has to, the AI mechanisms of Jeff, he's kind of not expecting to have to deal with the fact that Jeff isn't just a teachable robot that he can kind of program to go, you need to feed the dog, you need to do this. The robot is going to develop these emotions. I thought Caleb Landry Jones, both as a mocap thing, is interesting. As a mocap thing, because it could have, and I had mentioned it on that when I was talking to Ian about it earlier on the text. It would be quite easy, for somebody else to do the mocap and Landry Jones to just do the voice. But I don't think Landry Jones would be that kind of actor who would do that. He'd go, no, I want to do the mocap as well, because I want to get into the character and I want to be able to control the physicality of the character. Because Landry Jones is quite a physical actor in a weird way. We always think of physical actors being more Jim Carrey-esque and being more comedic. But De Niro is a physical actor. In terms of De Niro does more facial acting in Casino than most people do acting in their entire fucking careers. Kilmer does, but he brings that slight awkward oddity to it. There's a bit where he gets in the passenger seat of the chair, but he's never got in the passenger seat of a chair, so he isn't quite sure how to get in it. So he kind of stands on it and turns around in it, but it's like a dog would sit down.
Oh, the bit where he's learning to walk,
and then
you
you
can see him in the window.
Yeah, but there's such a sweetness to it that it brings this thing, and yeah, there is a horribleness to the fact that you just want the what is it, and he keeps the fact that Jeff keeps turning out Finch and saying, you know, it starts from he doesn't like me to I don't think he likes me to a very pained I don't think he likes me. And it's almost like Jeff is saying to Finch, I don't think I can do what you need me to do because Goodyear doesn't like me. And he's almost sad about it because he just doesn't want to disappoint essentially his father. And it's very derivative of you know, androids, robots, whatever you want to say, movies for this. But when it's done with this level of sensitivity, it works. And the fact that Kilmer Jones, I think is a fantastic actor, and will in 20 years' time be one of the great character actors of his generation. And it's so interesting that he brings that level of
humanity, I guess.
Yeah, to this character that you fucking feel for it. And then at the end of it, when it finishes and you go, do you know what? He's going to be all right. And the fact that the director, Miguel Sapochnik,
I said Sapochnik.
Whatever. The fact that he basically, there was more shot. There was an interaction that Jeff had with humans that didn't go well, I don't think.
Oh, right.
And he just...
Oh, I'm glad they didn't include that.
And he said that when he watched it, he said... And I think it had Skeet Ulrich in it as the bad dude, which kind of makes sense. But he said that when he watched it, he said it didn't make sense for the story. The story wasn't improved by it. It was actually detriment. He said, so we removed it because we needed to have the idea that Goodyear and Jeff were going to be all right.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and I loved that. I yes, it's horrible, but it I don't know. I was the opposite, I think, to you about it. I viewed it from the opposite angle, I think, in the fact that I was quite charmed by it, uplifted by the end of it, and as it finished, I was like I've said already, I was like, they're going to be all right. They're going to be fucking all right, Jeff and Goodyear.
The thing is, I think it took it to some, on a scale of bleak to bleak places at points. I'm not going to... It's a fantastic film. The fact that I feel so passionately about the fact that I didn't like the fact that it made me sad is testament to that. It is a fantastic film. I forgot when I was saying about the bits that made me sad. The bit with Dewey when he gets in the trap and he has to switch him off. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Like really horrible. It's like putting an animal down. It's fucking horrible. It's basically a dog robot, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, sorry, Dewey. But it's, you know, the actors involved make you care about these robots, basically.
Lovely little nod to Silent Running there as well.
I don't...
What? Calling the dog Dewey in Silent Running, one of the robot droid things that he's got is called Dewey.
Oh, my sound's gone. Sorry. Hang on. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back at our end, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, sorry about that, guys.
I was just saying next that there was a nice little nod with the robot dog essentially being called Dewey to Silent Running there, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it's a film that obviously wears its influences on its sleeve, doesn't it? And I thought that idea of the sun just being fucking, you put your hand out in the sun and your hand just starts fucking burning. Like, I don't know, there was something quite simple about holy shit about that.
That's how you feel on an average summer day, isn't
it? Yeah, I mean, like, just in terms of, like, you know, obviously COP26 is happening at the moment. It kind of feels like it's ending on, AOC tried Iron Brew, brilliant. What about everything's burning? You know, and that kind of stuff does play on the mind. And obviously we're talking about Paul Schrader earlier on, and First Reformed is a film that very much has that on its mind. And it kind of, I don't know, it almost feels like you need films like Finch that are presenting the effects of climate change in that kind of way to really make it come home. And I thought that was an interesting angle that it took. Yeah, I thought it was charming. I thought it was sweet. It was very sad. I teared up like a motherfucker when Tom Hanks was like dying, and then when the dog started howling. Like, it was a lot, you know, and it's making me sad thinking about it. And like, I'm like literally, I've got like a rope toy in my hand at the moment, and Kiki is, you might be able to hear her, like fucking going at it, and she's an idiot, but she's my idiot, and that's kind of like how it kind of feels like Tom Hanks is with Dog, except Dog's not an idiot. Dog is a very smart dog. And just that whole, oh God. And it kind of weirdly made me tear up. Like when Jeff is like, right, what would Finch do? What would Finch do? Finch would feed the dog.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that he's got that fucking can opener in him. And it's like, of course he does. That's fucking brilliant. Like, that's such a lovely moment. And like a laugh that you needed at that point. Yeah, I don't know. I thought, the thing is, it's interesting because like Apple TV took some shit early on when it was like, Tim Cook is only like, is trying to rub all like the harsh edges off of everything, and like he's just trying to make stuff that doesn't really have anything provocative in. And it's like, okay, the morning show is talking about fucking toxic, like Me Too, basically. So not really, but B, if Apple TV are going to bankroll Ted Lasso and they're going to buy films like Finch, and I've heard Coda has got like quite a heartwarming aspect to it as well. More fucking power to them.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they're finding success.
Yeah, they're not signing Adam Sandler up to a 6-picture deal.
No, exactly. You know, and they've got the new Scorsese, they've got the tragedy of Macbeth. You know, they are going to be like heavy hitters in that way as well. But their whole thing of we just want to be quality over quantity. The proof is actually in the pudding so far. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't exist. You got that Joseph Gordon-Levitt fucking show, Mr. Corman, that like came and went, got cancelled before the last episode had even fucking aired. You know, so there's plenty of stuff that like obviously isn't hitting, but it does feel like they're not just fucking splurge gunning this stuff out. Like Finch is all over the place on Apple TV and on iTunes, you know, like they are actually actively trying to promote their stuff. Sorry, slightly tangenting here, but you look at what Netflix do, where like Netflix, when Mank came out, the week that came out,
it was hard to find.
Like, it was actually actively hard to find.
I think we commented on it, didn't we? And I said, you know, it's hard to find.
Exactly, and you know, I like the fact that Apple are doing this, and you know, they've got Finch. They did Greyhound, which was a solid, like Tom Hanks starrer. Now they've got Finch, and it's like they know their lane, and it's a good quality lane, and they're sticking to it. And fair fucking play, it's included in my Apple One subscription. You know, it's like I'm paying $13.99 a month for Netflix at the moment at the highest tier because I want the 4K. It's like, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that Donna watches a lot on Netflix and Lottie watches My Little Pony on Netflix, like, constantly, I probably wouldn't be paying for Netflix anymore. But at the moment, as part of my Apple One subscription, I am more than fucking happy to pay for Apple TV. And long may this run continue. They've got a new Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd series I'm probably going to watch starting next week. No, this week.
Yeah.
You know, like, good on him. Anyway, that's my rant over. I like Finch.
Yeah, I very much taken with it.
Yeah, definitely not shit. I mean, Bex, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Are you definitely not shit, but it was really sad, so...
You thanks I hate it.
Thanks I hate it, I think. It's a very, very good movie,
Okay,
but it was just too sad for me, and I don't know whether it's because I wasn't very well, or what. It made me cry, and it hit me too hard in the feels, and I just did not need that this week.
Well, I'm definitely not shit. Our audience poll, 80% definitely not shit, and 20% Geostorm.
Wow. It's a good movie. You know, it's a good movie. And I get it, Bex, to be clear. Like, it is... It was a lot.
It's just too sad. I wasn't prepared for it. Like, the marketing makes it out to be essentially, yeah, you know, he's dying, but it makes it out to be largely this kind of buddy type movie between him and the robot, and like teaching him and stuff like that. And while it is that, it's also all the other shit. And, you know, Tom Hanks needs to recognise that he can't do that kind of shit and not have people cry. He's too good of an actor. So,
He is.
And he's really fucking good in this.
He's usually really good at it.
He is, yeah, and I think because of that, you don't necessarily notice it, because it's just like, well, yeah, of course he is. It's Tom Hanks.
Mm.
Whereas you're looking for it going, fucking hell, Caleb Landry-Jones is really good in this.
And actually, sorry, just to finish off my rant, that's a good example. Tom Hanks, right? He's had 2 films this year that Mark had to remind me of the other one, News of the World, which was on Netflix, and they just dropped it on there.
And it's really good.
And it's fucking great. It's fucking great. And I understand that Universal dropped it on there basically because of the pandemic, and they just, like, in the US it actually got a theatrical release and whatnot, you know, so it wasn't everywhere, but it was just more content. They weren't advertising it in the way that, you know, if Finch was on Netflix, it would just be in the everyone's watching bit, maybe, depending on how it did over the first weekend.
Yeah.
You know, on the rocks, you know, like Apple TV had On the Rocks like earlier this year or late last year.
Yeah.
And they made an effort promoting it. Could you imagine fucking Netflix on Amazon Prime promoting a Sofia Coppola directed Bill Murray, fucking Rashida Jones double act?
Amazon Prime would forget that it was on Amazon Prime and then release a trailer for it saying, on Amazon Prime, December 1st. You'd be like, wait a minute, it's December 26th?
Amazon Prime would go, you'd search On the Rocks, and it would go, oh, you mean Arthur 2 On the Rocks?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean On the Rocks.
Yeah.
What's On the Rocks? That film that you made. What one? The one with Bill Murray in. Okay, search Bill Murray On the Rocks for me, will you? Bill Murray On the Rocks. Oh, shit, look at that.
We do have it. So you want to watch Arthur 2 then? Like, fuck off!
Yeah, and then it starts, and then Dudley Moore comes on screen. He's like, "Hey, I'm drunk." And it's like, that's not what I wanted.
Is that?
I think that's how Arthur 2 starts.
I think it's not far off it, yeah.
So, moving on.
Yep.
Twitter questions.
Rick Kidd. At Rich Chicken. Looking forward to House of Gucci. It looks like Lady Gaga is going to give a fun performance. There's been a long line of musicians trying to be actors, but who's been the best so far?
Ooh.
Musician as actor generally.
Yeah.
I mean, I've liked everything I've seen Bowie in.
I was going to say Bowie, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bowie's a good choice. I'm going to go Tom Waits.
I was going to
Tom Waits is really
Tom
good.
Tom Waits is a good choice.
Yeah, his the energy he brings to things is always magnificent.
Yeah,
and the weirdness of the directors he's worked with as well, because he's worked with all like these really like quite avant-garde directors usually, but then he crops up in Domino The Tony Scott movie.
What's the one with the bunnies? Is that
Seven
Seven
Psychopaths?
Psychopaths? He's
Yeah.
good in that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of bad ones, but yeah, that Tom Waits is the one that really cut the line for me.
See, Justin Timberlake popped into my head, not because he's a particularly great actor, but just that it's weird that he's better at acting than he is at music.
Oh god, yeah! If you go back and listen to what's that album that he had with Sexy Back and stuff like that on it,
Is it Love Sexy or something?
but you go back and listen to that. It should now be called the problematic as fuck album that Justin Timberlake's managed to get away with. Can I also throw in Dwight Yoakam?
Ooh, that's an interesting shout.
Character actor that's been in loads, but nobody would know that actually he's outside of America that he's a huge country music star.
Oh, okay.
But he's a really good actor as well. You can throw in like people like Chris Christopherson and things like that, but I think Tom Waits and Dwight Yoakam are the ones I'd go for. Dwight Yoakam's always, whenever he turns up in something, you always go, alright, this is interesting. But yeah, he's turned up in like comedy stuff, and he's turned up in, what is it? He's one of the guys in Panic Room, the Finch movie.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that's knocked Jared Leto off Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Well, yeah, duh.
I'm just saying.
On Jared Leto, before we move on, I'm assuming we've all seen the pictures from the House of Gucci premiere or whatever it was.
Yes.
That's just fucking great, isn't it?
I am so looking forward to that movie.
Adam Driver's just like, yeah, I'm going to put on my best suit, I'm going to fucking go. Oh.
No, I reckon...
he stands by it.
Yeah, I reckon absolutely 100% Jared Leto was going, oh, Adam, I'm going to wear this, I'm going to wear this, and what you're wearing is gone, I'm going to wear a suit, to be honest, Jared. The thing is, Jared Leto is a weirdo. But he's an intentional weirdo. He's made himself a weirdo. It's pre-orchestrated.
Yeah.
And he seems to kind of be coming out of it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he was wearing, like, teal, but it was a suit.
No, but he stopped retreating to his cult island that he's got all of the time.
I mean, he was there when the pandemic broke.
Yeah, but he seems to have gone, maybe I have gone from being aloof rock star actor weirdo to just being weirdo.
Yeah.
But has anyone ever seen that the footage of him where he's at like the Paris fashion show and there's a guy walking along in a suit thing and he's making a face of just like, oh my god, and then literally there's a shot, the meme thing is then a shot of him like 3 weeks later on the red carpet wearing the outfit. I'll see if I can find it to send you because it's kind of brilliant and it kind of has made me like him a little bit more.
Yeah.
I am very I read a tweet by someone saying that Jared Leto is playing both Wario and Waluigi in House of Gucci. And I'm so fucking excited.
I'm excited for that movie. It looks like the most delicious trash ever.
It's literally Rocky 4, Rocky versus Drago on the Thursday night, House of Gucci on the Friday night. Fucking hell, man. That's a double header.
I've just sent to the chat the meme that I'm talking about.
Oh, I look so excited.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Right.
Look at his face. Fucking amazing. That's amazing.
But it has kind of made me like it because I always say about like fashion, like catwalk things of like, yeah, but who actually wears it? And then you go, Jared Leto wears it.
That's fucking great.
Next question. Dylan Black Lantern says, you have got to get posters to go above Ian's bed and Jordan's bed. What are you picking? I'm going to add into this, Ian. You've got to replace yourself with me and Becky.
For Jordan, I think I'd get him a Restrepo one, but without the name of the film on, so people would always ask him. And then
that's pretty
that'd be great.
a joke that nobody, but like 4 or 5 people would get.
Jordan will get it.
Jordan would get it and have to say it every single time. And then would have to explain the poster to people.
Yeah. For Ian, you know, in The Shining,
Yeah.
you know, the mister who runs the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know when he goes...
Scatman Carruthers.
Yeah, well, you know when he's away.
Oh, no.
You know when he's away, he's like...
Yeah.
And then the sexy Afro ladies.
Yeah.
The sexy Afro ladies. I feel like that would make Ian, like, really comfortable every time he went into his room.
Well, I have my choices. George would be a poster for Moonrise Kingdom that I have designed.
Oh, God.
Using Crayola crayons.
Right. Why?
Because I think it would be funny that Jordan would have to have a poster for a movie by one of his favourite directors that he really likes, drawn by me in crayon.
Okay.
But there can't be any white on the paper.
Okay.
I'm going to fucking fill the whole thing in.
Nice.
And it's not going to be A4.
Oh.
It's going to be A1.
A1.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And for Ian, it would be the Polish movie poster for Alien.
Oh, okay.
Is that going between the 2 Afro ladies?
It might as well do, yeah. I'm going to try and find it for you and send you it in.
Okay.
Polish movie poster. Alien, not pista, poster. Alien. Right, here we go. Add to photos. Send.
See, I wasn't mean. I just sent him sexy ladies.
Well, my other one that wasn't this was going to be the poster for Secretary.
Oh, God.
which we nearly got, didn't we?
We did nearly get that, yeah.
Fucking look at that.
I know, it's good, isn't it?
What? What the fuck?
I love
That's brilliant.
Polish movie posters are great.
Polish movie posters are glorious.
Okay, no. Wow, wait. Fair play.
Wake up to that every morning.
Man.
Oh, the cabaret one.
The cabaret one's fantastic.
Send him the cabaret one.
2 seconds. What are yours, Ian?
What poster would I buy myself?
No, what poster? You got to replace yourself with us.
So Jordan and us.
Oh, fuck! I hadn't thought I was going to be asked this. All right. So for Mark, it would literally be Mark's phone wallpaper of like Rosamund Pike in Gone.
That's I would have that.
Yeah.
Happily.
And Bex, I think it would be a landscape poster of Tom Hanks dying in his bed in Finch.
Fucking hell. While the dog looks on, sadly.
I was thinking of saying that, but yeah, sure. Oh, God, what's this guy? Fucking hell. No way, wow, that is... Why is her face doing that?
Honestly, you can look at some of the what is it, and they are nightmarish, most of them.
Yeah.
Christ. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, if any of our listeners have never looked at Polish movie posters, just Google Polish movie posters, go into images and scroll down, because there's some fucking beauties.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And then there's actually some genuinely fucking fantastic ones. The Solaris one's spectacular. And the Fly one is, it's not too dissimilar to the one that I would draw for Ian, for Jordan's. What is it?
Oh, God.
What are we covering next week, Ian?
Bloody hell. Okay, so we're going to be talking about Red Notice.
Yep.
Is Spencer playing by you guys?
It is, yes.
Are both of you seeing it?
I think we're going to try, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're going to try for both of us seeing. Is what I'm saying. I think that is the plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Cool. So at the very least, we'll have Red Notice, but I'm definitely seeing Spencer, so I can talk about that if.
Ooh, there's another movie that I am going to watch between now and next time we record, and it's Rebecca Hall's directorial debut, Passing.
Oh, Passing. Yeah, let's do Passing.
Yeah, because I really, really want to watch that. I'm really quite interested in that.
Yeah, it's landed today, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's landed today, yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. Let's review Passing as well. Good shout. For patrons, we'll also talk Thief, and Mark and Becky will talk Urotsukidoji.
The director's cut.
Yeah.
The director's cut. That when I searched for it on, I can point out that we own a copy of this, so I had to get it from somewhere else. Let's say, and when I searched for it somewhere else. Do you know what category it was in?
Was it in porn, Mark?
It was in porn. And it was at that moment where I went, oh, I may have misremembered just how graphic this movie is.
It's quite graphic. It's very well animated, though.
It is, yes. So we're going to watch the hentai, Urotsukidoji, which is 2 hours, 40 minutes long.
I reckon we should go for a few drinks Saturday night, get fucked up and watch it.
Oh, wow.
High five.
Good high five. Solid. And that will do it for this week.
Yes.
What a treat to end on there. So, I've done all the preamble. There's no post-amble. Thank you very much for listening, folks. Have a lovely week. We will catch up with you at a future time at your convenience. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you much, Ian.
Thank you, Becky.
Thanks, Ian.
Now take us out of your fucking ears.
Bye.
Bye.
I get the last word only because I write on the walls in my head. Maybe some things are better unsaid, to be left on the sheets of your bed. Can I forgive if I
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.